Welcome, 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 beautiful hearts. We are talking about wealth and business and leadership in the fifth dimension. I know that this is home in the heart of many of you and on the top of your heart for many of you. How do we show up in new earth ways, in new businesses? Well, my guest today is Neil Sainani, and he is here to share his wisdom. He comes from the corporate world. And what I love about this is that there are many teachers that teach transformation. And it's just so beautiful when we all come together and share these experiences and we find the common threads. So let's welcome Neil as we're talking about the rise of the Lightworkers. Yay. Hi, Neil.
Yay.
Welcome.
Thank you so much, Lauren. Thank you for having me. It's an absolute honor to be here with you.
And so here you are. We're going to learn a little bit about your background. Fill us in on your corporate level training and your bridge to spirituality and the healing arts.
Okay. I'll try and go chronological, so bear with me. I've been working in the corporate world for the corporate world for, I would say, about 26 years now. And, in a variety of industries and organizations, the financial industry, the recruitment industry, and there was always a strong feeling within me of spirituality. I didn't know the how, the what, the where, the why, but there's always this little, whisper, and I didn't I didn't pay attention to it, or I couldn't pay attention to it. It wasn't loud enough, and it it all started when I saw a massage therapist, and this massage therapist recommended me to see this Ayurvedic doctor. And that's kind of where it all started. This wow factor of someone being able to take my pulse and read into my body. And yeah, I would say I get chills just by remembering that story because that's really what opened up the possibility. And I've always had this theme of self-improvement, and I kind of assumed everyone did. I didn't know it was so strong within me. And there was a bit of heaviness to it. Like I had to do the work. I'd constantly do the work, and therefore it couldn't be fun because it's work. And throughout all of the corporate work that I did, I would see all of these different levels of folks within organizations because I did work with executives, I worked with leaders, with middle managers, and worked with individuals throughout the entire organization. And one of the themes that I noticed was the networks that people had access to and the networks that some folks didn't have access to. And I'm going to circle back to that theme, of course, when I talk about the light workers and why we're here today. And so these little nuggets of being self-employed or doing what brought one passion weren't, uh, how do I say this? They weren't realistic or available for me because I was raised, like many folks, to think and understand that, you know, you had to work for a corporate, you had to work for a big organization and do your time. And whether you liked it or not, this was the path. And I remember my parents kind of living by this theme. So
Belief
I
systems programmed in you. You have to work hard for money. You have to work from 7:30 in the morning till 5:30 at night or what have you, right? And so anything outside of that, you're not working. Those are belief systems enforced by your
absolutely
parents. Yeah.
right. And then there's this level of being new immigrants, right? There was that belief system. And layered on
Mm.
that was you need to work harder, you need
Uh-huh.
to show up earlier, stay later. And so you're going to university. Are you
Uh-huh.
are you going to study? It wasn't would you like to go? It was you're going and you can take medicine, law, accounting, or engineering. So which one was it going to be, Neil?
No art, no music, no dance, no theater. Those
Exactly.
aren't real. Okay, I'm
Right.
just filling in the blanks here because
Yes.
wow.
Please
Okay,
do.
this is your programming. Yeah.
This is my programming. And so only by process of elimination. There's no way, I mean, I didn't have the marks or the interest to get into medicine. That was clear to me. Process of elimination, it came to accounting. So I went to university, graduated with a degree in accounting and finance,
How
and it was clear to
thought-provoking.
everyone, it was clear to everyone I went to school with that I was not going to be an accountant
Okay, so
in
it was
terms
kind of
of
like a round peg being forced into a square hole.
absolutely. I finished, I completed, and and I did my thing, right? I got my
And
education.
yeah, and so okay, so you did the right thing.
Mm, yeah, the right
Okay.
thing.
All right.
So then I went traveling around the world for 2.5 years.
Good.
And
I think
wow,
everyone should do that. Wow.
what such a beautiful experience for my journey of opening my eyes and my
Ex-
experiences to the world outside and not common to my community, to my culture. What do we do? Is Neil avoiding working, getting a job, buying a house, fill in the blanks, getting married, settling down, debt, dot, dot, dot. And so no one really understood that I was doing it for my passion, right? I was doing that for me. And I'm so glad I did that. And I came back, and one of the things that I was connecting with is the recruitment industry. And it was kind of meant to be because I had all these skills aligned. And so that served me very well to connect with different people in different organizations doing different things. I could help them up level their skills. There was the training and development person in me that was training everyone around me just by nature of that's what I love to do.
So you were improving the lives of the people that you were connecting to as a natural function of your beingness, right?
Absolutely.
Naturally. All right. That's your passion. Yeah.
Mhm. Yeah.
Yeah.
And
That's what
so,
you love doing. Okay.
and this is, what ties into all the work that I'd done following that. And from there, I went into the financial industry. Oh my gosh, so many loops that I saw and learned, and started off in a sales role there. And that's where my accounting and finance degree came in handy, understanding the numbers, helping customers, clients, understand their portfolios when they couldn't, and helping clients save a lot of money on interest, on bank charges. And from there, I transitioned to working in diversity, equity, and inclusion. And for those of you that aren't familiar, a lot of that work is grounded in anti-racism and cultural inclusion, having organizations that are more inclusive. And I mean, the benefits are so strong. And there you can see and feel the strong ties to spirituality there. And that's where I felt the undertone of spirituality could come out in my workshops. And I didn't know I was activating people in the way I spoke to them, in my frequency. I didn't know the word frequency, but I could see the impact. And I just thought, oh, it's just the way how I'm talking. It's the words I'm using. It's because I know what I'm talking about. No, no, there's no mistake there. Yeah, it was the frequency I could communicate with them and they could receive. The programmed loop with the work of diversity, equity, inclusion that I'd come to terms with in the last few years is that's what kept me so grounded in my identity.
You know, it just makes so much sense. And that whole structure has been blasted by the current administration of the United States. It's appalling, if you ask me. It makes us feel like we're going backwards. And then there's so much gaslight going on. This is not a political conversation, but that just
Right.
doesn't seem right. So I'm going to take a little sidetrack here
Please.
and ask
Mm.
your thoughts on that because regardless of this is where we the people have hearts. This is where the human
Yes.
heart, we are one. We are all
Yes.
one. We are new
Yes.
earth. We are new earth one,
Yes.
right? We are one. And so, wow, what are your thoughts on that? Do you think that we as businesses, what are your thoughts? Just going to be quiet here.
Yeah. I have so many nuggets in my head. And, when you think about being having an organization that is inclusive, like the benefits are tremendous. There's so much research out there.
Not
Mhm.
only that, when we are inclusive, we're all one. We recognize we're all one. This is such a cosmic, elementary.
It's divine.
It's divine. It's
Yes.
divine.
And
We
so the
we cannot
message I
go
want to
off. We
share
we
on
can't meet
that,
the ETs if we're still. What's your message?
yeah, the message is that let's not be polarized
Hmm.
by the messages that are out there, right? That's how we
Yeah,
come together. We can come together
I
and
love
see that
it.
there's oneness,
Yeah.
right? And it's so easy to take a side. Instead of taking a side, take that opportunity to open up the conversation. And it's so simple to say, well, what does that mean for you? I don't know what your perspective is.
Thank you for that. All right,
Right?
this is a really.
I might not agree with it. I might
Hmm.
not like it, but I'm willing
Hmm.
to engage in a dialogue to understand.
Hmm.
And
Thank you.
then the mind-blowing opportunity to then think, I never would have thought what it's like for a Southeast Asian family, to be in a neighborhood or to be dot, 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 right?
I've
What was it
always,
like to
I've always, I've,
experience?
yeah, I've always looked from their perspective, from the other perspective. I'm an empath. Many of us are.
Yes.
So, right. And so, wow, this is really good because I was talking with another host, another telesummit host, and it's like, oh my goodness, we really have to come together somehow. And so the theme would be alchemizing polarity or beyond
Beautiful.
polarity, like
Beyond polarity.
really bringing unity. And this is what you're talking about. We may bring you on for to talk with us about
Let's
that
do it.
because it's and we're kind of going off the subject just a little bit, but I'm doing it because it's important to the overall
I think it's
theme
important.
of what we're talking about. Um, as New Earth leaders, so we're just going to fast forward to that. As New Earth leaders, I think there's a great opportunity right now in our world for independent voices. Not only are we seeing the general mainstream media change and morph into more of an independent media, there are professional trained journalists that are leaving those corporate jobs to start their own channel. We're
Yes.
seeing that all over the place.
Oh,
But
yes.
yet I still have a bone to pick of integrity with
Mhm.
some of the things that I watch. And whenever I see something where someone blames another person, points out another person, laughs or makes fun of another person, that is not New Earth. That is not even being adult. That is not even being a conscious human. So, what are your thoughts on that? Because we need to, and this is where the opportunity comes. We can step in as a beautiful example of how we show up, right? Caring and tender and supportive of people. And so
Yes.
somehow we got to, like you said, we got to see the other side. And there's not just one other side, there's multiple
So many
sides.
sides.
So your thoughts on
The
that?
thing I'll chime in is We all deserve, I know this is difficult, right? We all deserve an experience that is free of harassment and discrimination. That's hard.
It's human decency.
Well, actually, the next part is what is a little challenging. If I say to you, I want to be treated with respect, what does that look like for you?
The
And
Bible
you don't have to
says
answer it.
the Bible says treat others the way you would want to be treated yourself, right? Treat others.
And I'm going to up level that because we don't know how others want to be treated. And so what I'll say is treat others the way they want to be treated. And the opportunity there is you engage in a conversation to learn about
There
what
you
that
go.
journey looks like for someone. You're not going to learn about how someone feels respected or what their definition of respect uh, unless you're having the conversation, and that happens in the journey. Because in a conversation, you can tell when something doesn't land well, right? We can tell. And, I'll take that opportunity to say something like, hey, did something I say not land well? That was not my intention. Can you enlighten me, please? Because I want to make sure I'm getting it right. How is
Yeah.
that difficult?
Um, I really like that. And so, one thing I want to add to this conversation is that I'm thinking that okay, this is deep and we're going to come back to the light workers, but this
Yeah,
is important
gonna,
because social media is an algorithm. And what I notice is like if you ever have to go do a new account somewhere and you click onto something, you're just going to get that feed based on that stuff. And now it's our responsibility as the human, the conscious human, to say, I'm not interested in that and to turn that off. So you're not getting
yes,
that, right?
yep.
That's just dirtying the water, those algorithms, right? So, wow. Where was I going with that? There was another thing I wanted to add. Oh, okay. So because of those algorithms, we think we can and I'm not even in America right now. I'm looking at it from the outside of the country in. And by the way, I think that if I had all the money in the world, I would create a scholarship that makes kids that gives kids the opportunity after graduation to go like you did and travel the
Mm.
world because that is so expansive in one's consciousness. But
We can
so
talk about that later too.
yeah, we're going to talk about like that, and there's a money game that we can talk about too. So because of that algorithm, and what I look at when I look back into the United States, it just seems like it's going to hell in a handbasket because of one, the threat of news that filters out of America and so the rest of the world just picks up on the worst, the cream of the crop of the worst. And it just makes it look like America's going down fast.
Yeah.
But when you go there, it's okay. People are happy. So my point is, it's not as polarized as people think it is.
Right.
And that's the key here. So when you say keep an open dialogue, wow. And then on another side of that, there's many sides, is that I think that what's happening on a political level could actually be bringing us more together
I agree with you.
because there's going to be a point where we're all like, well, where's the dignity? Where's the decency? That just doesn't feel right. And
Yes.
then maybe it's going
See
to make
that,
us look and say, why do we have buffoons that are telling us what to
yes,
do? So
right?
anyway,
In that, in that nugget there, we come out of that reactionary level of consciousness and we move into a phase where we start asking questions and thinking, wait, this doesn't feel right.
yes.
There's something here. I got to question it. Doesn't feel good, but should I be here?
That goes to every bit of information, no matter who it comes from or what it is about. It could be something spiritual.
Yes,
For example, I'm not going to go into it. There's many things, but conspiracy theories, it can be something spiritual. And if it makes you go into fear, that right there is an indicator, isn't it?
exactly. That chemical reaction.
How we feel. How we feel. And then who's responsible for how we feel? Ourselves. So
Yes.
what do we do with that? Yeah.
Yeah, and everyone has the freedom to say, not right now.
Okay. Thank you for sharing your thoughts on this and for bringing in this corporate inclusive idea. So then what caused you, let's go back to your story. That's a nice
Right.
little thing that we've been discussing here. And I know I want our viewers to share their comments. If you're watching on YouTube, please put something in the comments so that we know what you're feeling from this and if you agree or not. But Neil, when you were, what led you then to leave the corporate world and strike out on your own? Because and then I've got more questions of what it felt like when you did go out on your own, because I was there myself. I was in the
Mm,
journalistic thing
right,
and I felt guilty for doing exercise because I should have been sitting there in the belief system. I should have
right,
been sitting there doing something to make my day productive. What was
right.
that like for you as you left? And how did you
So
leave?
I'll step it back a little to share that in 2020, when the pandemic hit, um, that was my greatest opportunity to start my my spiritual journey on Express. Simultaneously, the organization I worked for uh, exploited my hours because I could. I was the empath, I was the performer. I could work three, four times more than anyone else. I could save everyone else's work.
Hmm.
And that's exactly what I did. And I wasn't looking for any credit. And it was March of 2022. And I got pulled aside by one of the executives. And I'm like, again, I'll just mention I was doing four times my job, and I was covering and filling in the nooks and crannies where people were having issues simultaneously. So it just happened, as it would. I I messed up twice, and that shocked the entire organization. I ended up getting a call from one of the executives, one or two people above me, saying, "I think we've pushed you too hard, and we think you need to take a health leave." And there I was. No, 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 it's all good. I got it. And they're like, no, no. We want you to take this to your doctor and just get a checkup. So I went to my doctor, thought everything was fine and dandy and all roses, and my doctor pretty much said the same thing. Yeah, you're going to be out for 2 weeks, probably a little longer. You're not going to work. You're not going to work tomorrow. What happened?
Was it burnout? Was
It
it
was burnout.
burnout,
Yeah,
exhaustion? Yeah.
yeah. I
Because
didn't
because
see it.
you care so much. And see, that's the thing about employees versus corporations. It's a one-way street. Employees will be very, 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 very loyal,
Yes.
but the loyalty is a one-way
It's a
street.
one-way street. I was an empath. I was a performer. I knew like work was easy for me. I knew how to do a good job, and I had no boundaries. Boundaries? What's that?
You wanted to help. You cared so
I cared so
deeply.
deeply.
You cared so deeply. Many of us
And
were the
I'm
same
sharing
way.
this because a lot of you out there listening, watching are thinking probably the exact same thing.
Hmm.
So during that time that I had off, just happened to be a way for this little nudge to say, you might want to consider self-employment.
It was a
And
thought that popped up in your head.
thought that popped up.
That's
And
inspiration. Okay, and how did your body react to that?
I had I had always thought or considered that at some point in my life I would be self-employed.
You
The
always thought,
difference, yeah, there's occasionally I would meet folks that were self-employed and it seemed like a good setup, but then I fell
yeah,
into that loop that, oh, you can't do it. You need to work for the corporation, just like my parents did, and. So that fell away. And so the barometer of stress and excitement prior to that time was always high stress, low excitement. This was the first time where that excitement was off the chart. And so I thought, oh, okay, let me pay attention to that. And at this time, we're talking 2022, I wasn't in tune with my guides or my voice. And, I just continued along. But this is where I started to hear and I started to pay attention. So I said to myself, well, I would like that too. Bring me 2 or 3 clients to replace my income. Let me work half the time and we'll make this happen. And that was like a fun experiment. Now, did I think the result was going to be what ended up happening? Not at all. Within 3 months, I had a few little nudges of potential clients that ended up being conversations. By the end of November, I had 2 solid clients, locked me in, and by mid-December, I resigned to start on my own.
You were building a bridge for your exit. You were building a
Exactly.
bridge for your exit. And that's really important for those who are listening already in a job. If someone, for me, myself, I saw the movie What the Bleep Do We Know?
Oh, yes.
Uh, and after doing what I call the passion matrix, we take inventory of all of our skills, talents, assets,
Yes.
and that's very 3D. But then we
Yes.
also look back at what we did when we were children, 8 years old. And
Mm.
then we also do everything that we love, like what makes our heart sing. And we just take a big inventory of all of that. And then we also do a past life regression through the temple of the Sacred Heart, where we're shown another lifetime. And so that's the passion matrix. And that's what I did in my own life. But I took a leap. I saw that movie, What the Bleep Do We Know? And I got so like
I
ants in my
love that.
pants that I left my job and I never worked for another
Mm.
human again.
Love that for you.
And there was a lot of guilt that went in on that. And that was 2006, right? That was 20 years ago.
Wild.
And so you went through that same thing too. And
And my
everyone goes through
family
it
was trying to convince me against it.
because they care about you.
Yes.
And so then
Right?
there's something called an egregore.
Okay.
It's a thought form
Okay.
that becomes an entity. And you look it up, egregores.
I'm
That
jotting
thought
down.
form becomes a belief system. It's an actual living thing. Like you got to work hard, and and so a family can have an egregore of like you got to do this. Okay, so then what happened?
I was so confident about it. And the
Because you
two
felt
clients,
it inside,
it was the passion,
the passion.
right? And at the time, it was my divine mission, right? To facilitate and lead conversations with executives and leaders and employees in the organization to move the work of diversity, equity, and inclusion work in organizations in the world in general. I was still trapped in my identity, right? That's still there. And that was still a chemical reaction because in that role, I was continuously telling my story about my lived experience. Oh, I grew up this. This is my identity. These are my many identities. And as a result, well, what I was programmed to believe is that I have to pour my heart and soul and it has to be full of chemical reactions for the listeners or the audience to get value. So I cause these chemical reactions day in and day out for myself. And luckily, I came into contact with someone in the corporate world, an expert in the work that we do, and they pulled me aside and said, "You do not need to do that. Let's help you craft and curate some stories without, I'll use different words, without the chemical reaction." And that's another light bulb moment. Okay, I could do that. And that changed the trajectory for that work. So then following that, again, this is where I started with a lot of the other modalities. And so I came in and out a variety of healers and past life and so on and so forth.
You took some courses on the healing arts,
There we go.
right? You went down that little road to satisfy that curiosity,
Did a lot
that
of breath
natural.
work. I'm a breath work facilitator as well. And then all of a sudden, I'm at home and I heard about this Becoming Bioquantum workshop with Astra Luma and Jules.
Jules Arness, yes, yes.
And I I hadn't really planned to attend. And there I was working on something, and literally my body pulls me to my laptop and I'm signing in. It's not me. And there I am. And yeah, so this is, I think I skipped a little bit, but that's exactly what brought me to becoming bioquantum and Astraluma.
I it seems like this is your higher self. So, what is your connection with your higher self like? Have you heard the voice of your higher self?
I have. I've just started to, and I now recognize that was the voice that
Mm-hmm.
was whispering.
Mm-hmm.
And I used to think the that whisper was messages for other people, and I would say it out loud.
Thank you. I do that all the time myself. Oh my gosh. Oh my gosh, you're helping me reveal a pattern. I'm always like, ooh, you should to someone else. I've done that for years. Like, I'm not going to go into it, but this one idea that I've had, and I said, oh, that's for my husband. And so for years, and he tries, but then I realized I need to do it myself. I can do that.
Yes.
Right. And so that's what you learned. That's the number one discernment that you learned is that those messages from your higher self were for you. So then what happened? So then you,
And I'll share one funny. So, like you, I get these messages, and as one example, one would be like, "Oh, you are divine." So I tell the person, "Oh, you are divine," and they'd be so thrilled that it just, oh, made sense. It was for them. And in this journey,
hmm
I'm forgetting, well, wait, it's for me.
there you go.
So that happened just, I would say, around the same time of the becoming bioquantum journey there. And now that I know that was the voice and that was my higher consciousness. And yeah, it's been life-changing. Yeah.
And you are now a certified practitioner of bioquantum tools and trades.
Yes.
Yes. Congratulations on that.
Thank you.
You're going but you're also, I wanted to say that you're also going to be doing a business course, and it's about building wealth, impact, and leadership in the fifth dimension. And
Yes.
so that that also comes with a personal session with you that includes a 45-minute DMT gene code reading. So
Yes.
that's like how you're molding that wisdom, that personal session connection with the business connection. So let's talk about some things because I know people are really interested in this. If someone is what is so I mentioned the passion matrix, and I think that you went through your own little passion matrix because you felt the fire within, you felt the juice within, the excitement within, and that was strong enough for you to stand up to that family's egregore and say, I'm doing this. I
Yes.
know I have my family say this to me as well. They're like, "What do you do?" And you can what? How does that support you and your family? And it's like, mm. And then I can say, I can help you do that with your business. And they're like, nine times out of ten, they're like, my business is different. You can't do that with my business. And it's like, we can. So in your mind, what is if someone is working in a corporate or someone wants to change, what are the I don't know, the top five or the give us some points on what is necessary. What's a protocol that someone needs to do to exit and to begin their work on their own?
Yeah. So we've got a few categories there. So all you need to do is want to take a step forward to be a light worker. That's all I'm asking you. Take one step forward. You don't have to have an idea fully baked. Some people come in without an idea and it generates through the process. And that's absolutely okay. If you're just curious, you know you're feeling a pull and that you want to do what you're divinely guided to, we will set you up and support you through that journey. 4 weeks, 4 sessions. Uh, one of the one of the pieces of feedback that we received, and it was unsolicited, was this course works too good, and I feel like it can do anything now.
Right on.
Yeah.
That's true empowerment. I first I want to thank. We're going to talk a little bit more about the aspects of your course, but
And
I just
before
honor.
you continue, I'll share one of the things that I just got asked earlier today, like, what's the right profile? Am I too old?
No.
Wherever you are is perfect. We had all ages. We
Yeah.
had up to 90 years old in the class.
Isn't that wonderful? Yes, it's
Yes.
wonderful.
And
We could
and
call that someone's encore career,
absolutely.
right? If someone is retired or of the retirement age, now you get to have the fun.
And they are on fire.
Yeah, I love it. Wow.
You might be asking me, so what kind of people join your course? Because, I'm not a fill in the blank. So one of the questions might be, well, I'm not a healer or I don't have a conscious business. That is not a requirement. We have
Right.
musicians, we have actors and actresses, people in the film community, we have real estate agents, we have
Hmm.
social media strategists, and. So
Okay,
you
you know
can
what?
join from wherever you are, and we will create the container so that you have what you need to get out of the program.
So wherever someone is, I like to call it putting one foot in front of the other and following that, right? One foot in front of the other. That's how I did it. That's how you did it. One foot in front of the other. Okay, you're building, down the road, I can see from a bigger picture, Neil, the collaboration. Like right now, everyone is focusing on putting their New Earth business, let's call it their
Mm.
New Earth business, in place to start to do it, to go for it, to build your mission, to come up with what it is you're offering, all of that. It's really, really good. Someday I see how that network, because it is a network, can then support each other. So it's like New
Absolutely.
Earth One Network. It's a
This,
network
this is what we're
that
doing.
allows people to come and collaborate because all of those pieces. So this is how we're changing the world. Doesn't that feel great to you?
It's amazing. And we
Yeah.
want to inspire all of you to put one foot in front of the other.
Okay, so let's talk about nuts and bolts because I know they're like, okay, show me, tell me what I'm going to learn. Um, is this someone who still has a job or um,
Anything.
how do they start to identify? What are you going to do in these 4 sessions? So 4 sessions. And by the way, everyone, check it out. It's on this webpage. Notice what you're going to pay for that because for this time with someone who has done it himself, it's a beautiful opportunity and it is a nice introduction that's going to give you a springboard into your life. Tell us about that, Neil. What is someone going to learn and how are they going to apply it?
And I'll come to that in just a second. But what I
Okay.
will say is whether you're working right now in a company, you can
Mhm.
participate. Right? If you're not working, participate. Anyone can participate. We're not saying that you're going to execute and quit right away. We need a proper journey, and this is the container that will set you up for success. So let me talk you through the 4 weeks at a high level. Now, one of the reasons why I love this program is because a lot of us light workers, I'd say most of us light workers, do not have a network to tap into the resources that we never had access to, right? Do you know folks that can help coach you on marketing or how you use AI or how do you structure an offer? What is an offer? Right? There's so many things that we don't know. And please put a comment in the chat in any way, shape, or form. You might have so many great ideas in your mind, but you don't know how to move forward and what to do next. But they are great and fantastic ideas. So now I'll move forward and talk about what do the 4 weeks look like. And so the biggest thing I would say overall is you're going to get clarity and structure for your business. And that is the most important thing that us light workers do not have access to. So what does the first week look like for you? Now, the first week is about your idea. What is the message that you want to communicate out there? And what is your blueprint? And that is around the offer, your first offer that you're going to put out there. So in the first week, you'll have your business idea, a clear message, and a structured starting point. What we're going to do in that first week is we're going to layer that with the plasma technology. All right, so we're going to activate your plasma technology, and plasma is that field of pure potential. And plasma allows the business to be created from divine or source knowing rather than from programming or distortion. I know it sounds so powerful, and it is. And that's just week 1. We'll carry that forward. Now we're on to week 2. Now, what's week 2 all about? Week 2 is about your offer, your pricing, and your structure. So we're going to turn that idea into a clear offer. We're going to simplify and structure how that works. You're going to choose your pricing, and then there's going to be a single path for people to say yes. So by week 2, you'll have a complete offer, a clear price, and a simple system for how your business will function. Now, the technology we're going to layer onto that is the light technology. And the light organizes that intention into form. Light illuminates perception, and this is where your offer becomes understandable and aligned to those 5D frequencies. I can feel the excitement. I'm excited. Now moving on to week 3. Week 3 is about visibility, sales, and refinement. And you're going to create a consistent rhythm. We're going to show you how. You're going to start showing up and being visible. You'll learn how to invite people into your work. And we're going to refine what's working and remove what is not. And so by the end of week 3, you'll have taken real action, you'll have shared your offer, and you'll have begun conversations and movement. So now we're going to layer the technology. We're going to layer 2 technologies on top of week 3. And this is about sound and crystal technology. So sound gives momentum and crystal stabilizes it. All right, so this is where the business begins to organize itself, not from force, but from frequency alignment. It's just buzzing all over. And finally, we have week 4. Week 4 is about integration, identity, and expansion. So you're going to reflect on what you've built so far. You're going to strengthen your identity as a business owner. We're going to create consistency in leadership, and we're going to prepare you for that next phase of growth. So by the end of week 4, you're going to have a complete business foundation, a complete rhythm, stronger sense of direction, and a next step of growth. And lastly, with that technology that we're layering that on is with the Diamond Earth technology. And so Diamond Earth is where everything collapses into a 5D reality. And this is the embodiment layer where the business becomes real, stable, and sustainable. And you have Astroluma guiding this with your 5D business activation. So that's the living
Ooh.
structure you're going to continue to create from. Now, another beautiful thing about the program is that after the 4 weeks are done, you'll have access to the content and the recordings going forward. You can run other business ideas on that. You can take the activations through that. The key here is we're working with one idea to start with, and then any other new ideas, you're going to layer it on top of or underneath already structured business ideas so that we're tuning it together.
Very cool. Very cool. All right. You mentioned Astraluma, Jules
Yes.
Arnest, who channels Astraluma, the beings. How are they participating? Is that every week that they come in and share info, or what does that look like?
So Ashlima will come in twice.
Okay.
Yes, and with Jules, and we'll further confirm that I will be doing Ashaluma activations during each session. So there will be some form of engagement and
Yes, because
activation.
you are a certified practitioner of that technology. You know,
Yeah.
I love how that is the fifth dimensional frequency. It's supported by frequency. So this is where our three-dimensional input gets activated and supported and empowered by plasma, light, sound, and crystals, and the diamond earth codes. That is really cool. Um, it's powerful because we know one thing, that intention is carried on the sound waves, right? So sound waves will carry the intention. It's real. It's been measured. Sound Healing Institute has measured that, and so you're putting it all together. It seems it's a
Yes.
very multidimensional aspect. Yes.
Absolutely multidimensional. Lauren, you know this, and I know this, and many of you out there watching know this. There is going to be an enormous demand for light workers in the very, very, very near future. If you're not hearing that, let me repeat that. There is going to be a high demand for all of us to come forward. So I'm encouraging you to come forward now because people are ready. And I
Yes.
want you to be prepared before the demand hits the skyrocket.
It's already happening.
I'm
And
talking to
so,
people about
yeah.
quantum sessions, and unlike the past, people's ears are perking up and they're messaging me.
Yeah. Yeah, there you go. It's already happening. We are living in a pressure cooker right now. That is a pressure cooker for the awakening. And so if there's 8 point some billion people on this planet that are waking up, and this is just a small sliver, we are here to wake ourselves up, get ourselves positioned, and then turn a helping hand to others. And I like to say, because this comes up a lot. Do you find this? Some people will be like, well, somebody else is already doing that.
Oh, I
I
do.
did that to myself when I was starting out. I was like, how do I monetize my radio show? And was shown the signs, three different ways to do that. But then my ego mind came in. My higher self was showing me three different ways to do it. But my ego mind came in and had a pity party and said, somebody else is already doing
Oh,
it.
yes. Oh, you
That's
can't
common.
possibly do that.
You can't do that.
You haven't, who's
That's
gonna watch little old me?
the imposter syndrome is huge.
And I haven't been doing this for X number of years, so I possibly can't.
Hmm.
And I'm small, I can't be big, I can't take up space.
That's a big one too. We're so
I'm glad
scared
you
to be
asked about that.
seen.
All
Yeah,
of
we're
these
so scared.
distortions,
Hmm.
we will work through them and clear them. in that process. Again, take one step, put
Take
one
one
foot in
step.
front of the other.
One foot in front of the other and make it happen, everyone. Because I think what's happening in the world under this pressure cooker condition is that people are one day just going to go, now what? So if we're positioned for that, so it's like if you have 100, and it doesn't matter who's doing it, because for example, you could have 100 yoga teachers in the same
Yes,
room, a
yes.
100 yoga teachers, yet every single class, even though there's some of the same postures, every single class is uniquely different, isn't it? And
You know
that's the
what?
analogy I want everyone to remember if they think someone else is already doing it.
And thank you for sharing that, Lauren. What I'll add to that is that, and they need you. They need to learn from you,
Yeah.
right? And you're not doing it. They're not learning about it.
All
And
right.
wouldn't you want to do what you're divinely guided and inspired to do rather than the alternate?
Yes. And I love the way that you're setting this up because the first session is all about business alignment on a multidimensional level, business alignment and the mission statement. The mission statement, that just seems like a broken record or something 3D, but it's
Yes.
really important, isn't it? Because it's like a calling card to the universe. It's like it's
Important.
like it drives everything. It drives every decision, right? Tell us a little bit about the importance of a mission statement and how we would generate a 5D mission statement, or what brings that element in.
Yeah, that's a great question. So when you're generating your mission statement, what's guiding it is your divine mission. It's your divine yes, right?
Mhm.
So it might seem a bit corporate or organizational. Its foundation, every organization, small, medium, large, for-profit, nonprofit, 5D, 3D, you need a mission statement, and we'll help you craft that in that journey. Again, you're checking in with your divine mission. Is that aligned with what you are here to do?
Yes, I love it. And you know what else? I'd like to just point out that there's a world of opportunity. As we're watching the old world collapse, systems are collapsing. Actual systems. We're watching it. Look okay, government,
Yes, you're right. Yes.
financial. We have the corporations that are changing and shifting. We have schools, the educational system. We have the medical system, the health system. It's endless. I mean, musicians, right? Oh my goodness, there's
Yes.
just so much opportunity. And you know what the common thread is? When we do these mission statements, are you finding that you have all different walks of life in your courses, but
Absolutely.
the theme is so similar, like heart-based living,
Heart-based,
right?
mission-based, light-based, love-based, divine-based.
Love. And so as this world continues to burn and crumble, and we're watching those systems and the seemingly chaos and the buffoonery of some of our leaders out there, this is where the new gets built. This is our time to run, right? Hit the ground running with your business. And that's what's going to happen after people take a course like this, is they get to the outside end of it, confident, empowered, raring to go, raring to go. And then not even to
Set up for
mention the
success.
relationships, right?
Yes. Set up for success with a 90-day plan.
90-day plan.
Take one step, put one foot in front of the other.
I love that 90-day plan. I wanted to share as well is that one of the things that I would do as well is mark my calendar. I would literally take a calendar on the wall and put a circle around every 6 weeks. And
Mm,
then I would turn around and look back at what I did in those 6 weeks. Like I would have a daily plan, a weekly plan, and a
wonderful.
6 week plan. And so some of the bigger projects like learning curves that you need to go after, that could be on the 6 week plan. So that when you get done, that's your 90-day plan. You get to the 90 days and you turn around and you're like, wow, look what I did. But I like the little checkpoints along the way because we can turn around and say, oh, I wasn't just spinning my wheels. I did some actual things. And that's
and you're
one
going
foot in
to
front of the other.
and you're going to pair up with someone as an accountability buddy.
Yes, that's important.
And that's another resource that as light workers we don't have access to. So we might not know how to be an accountability buddy, and that's another conversation itself. But we want
That's
to commit to
powerful.
some steps that we're going to take action on, and your accountability would partner will just say, "Did you do A, B, and C? Yes, I did. No, I did not. What's holding you back? Go to it." It's it's light and
It's
important.
light and it's no, you're not going to get in trouble.
Exactly.
You're going to be empowered. It'll be reinforced. You're going to be encouraged.
That's what helps you get to your tasks and move forward. Again, light workers, some of us are ideas up here, and we need to get
Grounding it.
down,
Yes.
grounded into the tasks. So,
Okay, so this is a beautiful opportunity for those who are so ready. I know so many of you are ready. I know so many of you are ready. Even if you're not fully ready, but you have that desire, if you've thought about it like Neil thought about it, or if you thought about it like I thought about it, you can spend years dragging your feet and not doing anything. So if you've thought about it, maybe years have already been gone past us by. So take this opportunity to do something like this. This is very affordable and the opportunity is wonderful. So it's light technology on top of 3D, 5D as well. Business strategy from the realms of love and wanting to help others and inclusivity and oneness, right? This is really important. So that is beautiful. And there's this other opportunity. So people can just come in and do the 4 weeks, but there's
yes,
another opportunity to work directly with you in a
yes,
45-minute session. What's going to happen in the session? Because that seems like blockages and things might just be cleared. What happens there?
yeah. So what we do in this session is we explore those energetic and subconscious patterns that are happening, and we'll connect that to how it's affecting business growth. We'll look at abundance and receiving blocks, removing blocks, and we'll walk you through what does that awareness for you look like with your blueprint that you're operating from so that you can create new possibilities that lead to growth, expansion, and aligned success.
That is an amazing opportunity
I
for everyone.
love those sessions.
Um, so you can see those two options on the webpage that got you here to this program. The link is in the description box if you're watching this on YouTube, and we are really excited for this. I'm excited because game on, game on, game on.
Right.
Years ago, we said all hands on deck. Well, now it's all hands on deck and get yourself situated. One thing that I'd like to say is that this also brings us beautiful opportunities to meet people, like-hearted people. And so friendships will develop from that, right? People will continue those relationships outside of the group. And that is what's really special to me. I've seen that happen time and time again. And one thing that I want to make sure you probably are aware of this as well, Neil, and I want to mention it is that it's great for people to come together and collaborate. Like you and I are collaborating.
Yes.
One thing to be careful of because we don't want to send anyone down into wasted time, right? Our time is precious. So the first thing that I'm going to recommend everyone do is get your business up and going first. Stand on your own 2 feet fully first. Have your mission, have your offers, have your ideas and your products and what you're creating before you collaborate. Why is that? Because we can I've seen this in the 35 years I've been doing business. I've seen groups come together. I was in local chamber of commerce groups and independent people, entrepreneurs. This happens frequently. We want to be in a group. We want to go and brainstorm, heartstorm with other people. So we can find ourselves in situations where we're like, ooh, let's do this thing. And we've
Mm,
actually spent money where you get t-shirts and you go out and you do this big party. But
yeah.
then everyone's looking around one day and just going, I got to make money now.
Yes.
And so
I
it
hear you.
falls apart, right? So this is important that it's beautiful to
Glad you
have
said that.
collaborations, But first and foremost, we get ourselves up and running. Do you agree with that?
I do. And I'll share with you the group work in the 5D business creation is checking in, and it's not business sharing, but it's growth supporting.
Yeah, that's key.
Yeah. So yes, it's super important to be mindful and to be careful of what Lauren's sharing. Absolutely. And
Yeah. So slow down
um,
on that. I
yeah,
just want to just make people be aware of that because you can lose a lot of time and be deflated and then maybe think, oh, I gotta go get a job. I got bills to pay.
yes, I'm
Right.
not,
So we don't do
it's
that.
not supposed to happen for me. That is not the case at
Yep.
all.
Yep. It
But
can happen and
again,
it will happen. All right.
we need
And
you,
that's
light
just the
workers.
beginning with you. That's just the beginning with you. And so I know there's more things that are going to be developed. And, you know, I
Definitely.
just appreciate your work and all of that. And so sign up, people. You know, if this resonates with your heart, if you're ready for it, be sure to check it out and feel into it. And you'll know as soon as you say yes, you're going to be in that energetic container and you're already going to be flooded with ideas from your higher self. Yes.
I'm excited to work with you all.
Thank you, thank you, thank you, Neil Sainani, for
Thank
this
you.
opportunity to work with you to get our businesses up and running. As we say goodbye, why is this so important now?
Because the time is right.
Mhm.
Take one step forward, and I'll help you on the journey. Lightworkers are going to rise to the top, and we can help each other do that and support each other in that journey.
Wonderful. Thank you so much, Neil. And thank you all for watching. We are so excited. We're looking forward to this. And thank you, thank you, thank you, all hearts that are thinking of stepping into their new earth business. Thank you,
Love and light
Neil.
to you all.
Namaste. Bye bye. This has been a presentation of New Earth One Network, your home for New Earth living. Access information, education, and videos on living from the heart in unity consciousness. Visit newearth1.com.